Hi, my name is Chelsea Hicks, and I am a mom of four boys. And this year, I have two boys who are part of the STEM fair. And for my fourth grader, it's his first year. And so I wanted to help him put something together that would look really nice. So I went out and I bought the typical trifold board. And then I got to the part where you have to print everything out and paste it to the board and make sure it's the right size. And I threw my hands in the air and decided that it is 2024 and I don't need a physical board anymore. So I started working on putting his project together using Lucidchart. So here in Lucidchart, what I did was I took his data. He had his notebook of data, and so I knew the percentages and I knew the numbers that he would need to display. So I started out with that. I knew that would be the easiest thing for me to visualize. So what I did is I came to the dynamic shapes that we have here in Lucidchart, and I added those dynamic shapes to my shape libraries. And I thought that the progress pie would be the most visual way to represent the percentages that he had found in his project. So his project was based on coloring juice and whether or not coloring the juice would affect the way that it tastes to his test subjects. So there was blue juice, red juice, and yellow juice, and I wanted to visually represent those colors as I represented the percentages. So over here on the right hand side, I put the max value at 100, and then I put in the percentage, which was 65%, which will change my little pie graph to show 65%. And this was the blue juice. So it was already blue, looked great. Then I copied that and I wanted to represent the red, which was 55%. And I grabbed the red color here and I changed the background color to a nice red like this. And then I added some text and things to make it so that it was easy to read, easy to understand. So I represented the data that he collected in that way. I also wanted to include his actual data set. So I brought in a table. I grabbed a table and I just grabbed this table just like this, and I entered in all the data. I could enter, how many columns and rows I needed, whether there was borders and so on, and I entered in all of this data. Then we're supposed to represent the materials he used in the project. So to make that really easy, instead of taking pictures of every little thing that he needed to display, I just used the Lucidchart image search. And I grabbed, for example, food coloring, and I hit enter, and I was able to find some images of food coloring and add that really easily to the board. I also found frozen apple juice. In fact, I was able to find a picture of the exact brand that he used as part of his project, which is this Kroger brand here, and so on. And I pulled out, the water jugs that we use, the red Solo cups, everything right out of the image library to make it really easy. I didn't have to go and take pictures of everything. Then I went and found my sources. I found the quotes I wanted to use, and I helped him put together some results. And I was able to line it up the way that a trifold might look. So skipping right ahead, I'm going to show you what his project ended up looking like. So using Lucidchart, we were able to make what looks like a trifold with even sized sides on each side. So these are both even. And then the middle section, which is much bigger. So here we have our raw data table. We have the procedure of the experiment. We have those pie graphs that I talked about creating. We have some information about the hypothesis, the project question, everything that he needed for his project digitally right here. It took me like 10 minutes to throw this together, and it was going to be a lot easier than cutting out paper and gluing it to a physical trifold. Then, to make it really easy to share with his teacher, all I did was come up here to File, and then down at the bottom, we have the option to publish this. So I published the document, I generated a link, and then I was able to share that link with his teacher. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to pull up an incognito window now, and I'll do a new share so you can see what this link will produce here. And it is a public link, but it's view only. So if he did need to make changes to it before the end of the fair, he would be able to come in and make any changes he needed to on the editing side, and it would display here on the published link side. So you can see all of the pictures that we pulled from the image library here. We did take one picture, that of the colored juice, and of course a picture of my son with his experiment as he's coloring his apple juice. We have the raw data table here, the conclusions and the results, and we were able to send that link right to the teacher, and we didn't have to trudge along with a trifold poster board and worry about it getting ruined on the way to school. And he was able to be entered into the STEM fair.